Hello my loves, what's up, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a new pick a card reading, and this one is specifically going to be about your love life during the month of May of 2022. We're going to try to get as much detail as possible in today's reading. If you are new to pick a card readings, I'm going to give you a quick little rundown of how they work. So over here we have pile number 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you can take a moment, pause the video if you'd like to find the pile that you are the most drawn towards. Then once you're done choosing your pile, there's going to be timestamps linked down below in the comment box as well as the description box so that you can click on that particular timestamp and skip ahead to that part of the video so you can listen to your particular reading. We also have crystals on these piles, as you can see over here on group 1. We have this beautiful piece of black tourmaline. Over here on group number 2, we have this really beautiful piece of bismuth. Also, I recently just found out that bismuth is, this crystal right here, is the main ingredient of Pepto-Bismol. How weird is that? Like, this is what you're ingesting when you take Pepto-Bismol. That's weird. But anyway, random fact about that crystal. Anyway, over here on group number 2, or 3, we have this beautiful piece of tanzanite, or a quartz, I should say. It's not real tanzanite, it's just tanzanite coated quartz. And then we have on group number 4 this beautiful piece of citrine. So take a moment, pause the video if you'd like to find the pile that you are the most drawn towards. Then once you're done choosing your pile, you can then scroll down to the comment box or the description box to find the timestamp that is linked to your specific card, and then you can skip ahead and watch your personal reading all about your love life in the month of May of 2022. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right into it. All right, so group number 1, if you chose this pile, then this is going to be your reading, so let's hop right into it. Okay, so group 1, we start off with the 3 of Swords right here, and when this card pops up around our love life, this can mean that we are getting past fears in the month of May, or working past issues or sadness or some previous hurt that maybe has been looming around, or maybe we have just been caught up kind of feeling. I think the month of May is all about letting that go and moving past that. Because the next card is the 2 of Wands, and this card is when we are sort of planning out what we want our future to look like. Maybe we're starting to realize what we really don't want to experience in our love life, and the types of interactions or experiences that we don't want. And we're starting to plan out and think about what we do really want, and we're also starting to put our foot out there about how can we create these experiences, where do I need to put myself, what kind of choices do I need to make in my life in order to get the happiness that I want and deserve, rather than maybe expecting disappointment or experiencing kind of scenarios that we don't really want. Like maybe we notice that our emotions are a little bit like noticeable lately, and I think in the month of May you're actually kind of getting past that. So I think that you're actually healing a lot of emotional parts of yourself excuse me, in the month of May. But yeah, so there's some emotional healing going on over here, and this focus on getting out of like a looming sort of maybe fear or hurt or sadness, and it's kind of like you are working past that and moving beyond that. And it's really a focus on your emotions, because we can see like the water that's in the background of this card, and then this card almost looks like the entire background of it is water, which connects to our emotions. And of course these swords are going into the heart, so it could be that our mind has been sort of on overdrive lately, or maybe our mind has been leading us to like jump to conclusions about certain things, or our mind has been against us, saying like, oh, I'm not worthy, or oh, I'm expecting this to happen, or whatever the case may be. I really think that you are getting out of like this emotional part of yourself that's been holding you back in your love life. And I think that you're going to start opening up more than ever, because then we have Moonchild. So you're getting more in touch with your emotions in the month of May, and realizing this kind of stuff that you want to get past, that you no longer want to feel and have to work through constantly. So I think that you're almost having this kind of like emotional awakening, where I think you're going to really start to put more love into yourself, into your own heart, so that you can begin healing these areas of yourself. We also have the 6 of Cups, which talks about thinking about the past. So there might be parts of you that are still reflecting on past choices, past exes maybe for some of you, or reminiscing like when times were good, wishing we could go back in the past and maybe redo something or take something away or whatever, kind of like shift something. Or you might just be reflecting on the past in order to kind of like learn from it and grow from it. I do think there's a lot of growth happening in the month of May for you, but it's all about like getting past certain fears, because we have these sword cards that are surrounding your particular group, and both of these sword cards kind of insinuate this feeling of letting your mind almost get in your way when it comes to love. Maybe you're overthinking things. Maybe we notice that our mind sort of has these knee-jerk reactions, or maybe we're not communicating things the way that we actually have meant to, and we're wondering, okay, how can I get this across, or how can I communicate this in the proper way to where it's being received well, you know, like, or we're just overthinking things. Maybe we're thinking a lot again of the past, maybe not wanting to repeat the past, not wanting it to come up again. So the month of May is bringing this focus on this, but the front and center card right here that we have for you is the Moonchild card. And this is such a great card because this is you really starting to awaken that inner part of you that just wants to have fun and enjoy life, to enjoy your love life in particular. When it's next to the Six of Cups, this is you almost wanting to return to like not having so much anxiety anymore, not having so much stress, fear, or overthinking. It's just wanting to return to more of an innocent, clean mindset. And the month of May, I think that you're going to be focusing on helping yourself return to that like really good mindset, to where you feel positive and you feel like you have a fun outlook where we can just enjoy things rather than overthink them. So with that being said, the next card that we have for you is the Pioneer. So you might be going on a new kind of journey where you're like, it's time for me to just be original and let my original self out a little bit more, let that authenticity out, or maybe even start like a brand new path entirely. Some of you might be thinking about starting a brand new path, and that might even be just with yourself too, like almost making a brand new you that you can go into your love life with, that you're more confident about, that you're not overthinking or overjudging things or having fears and things like that. I think that you're almost like renewing yourself to like come out of your shell a little bit and start to kind of be a leader in your love life, be a leader with who you are and being confident with who you are. The next two cards that we have for you, we have Communication. Ooh, there might be some things that you desire to speak, that you desire to say, but maybe we've been holding ourselves back. That Nine of Swords and the Three of Swords, you might be holding yourself back in certain ways about holding your truth a little bit. But I think in the month of May, you're realizing like, I think I need to just like speak my truth, be my truth, start to be more authentic rather than overthinking and telling myself no, or yeah, like I think that there's also this energy where we want to communicate more gently. Like this Six of Cups reminds me of this gentle energy. So I think that you're wanting to almost have your communication be more gentle. You also might receive like a text message from someone from your past, or like, I don't know, them saying hello to you in some kind of way. The communication with the Six of Cups can mean that maybe somebody from our past is reaching out to us. So I know it's a general reading, but I'm definitely feeling that for some of you. For others of you, this is just like starting to communicate more gently, and not just with other people, but also with ourselves. Ooh, and then we have deep healing. So this makes sense for you. The deep healing is like taking our fears and all of that overthinking and all of our past sort of maybe mistakes and stuff, and focusing on healing that so that we can sprout into like this brand new version of ourselves that feels emotionally in balance. So the next two cards, we have Change and we have Adventure. Ooh, 555. Who is going through some shifts in May? Group 1. There might be some changes going on in your love life where you kind of start to take a little bit more chance on your love life, to have a little bit more adventure rather than being held back by fear. Maybe this is like being adventurous with the way that you communicate, being more adventurous with your mind and kind of like a little bit more playful, and maybe kind of like taking a little bit of risks. Like some of you might be sending some like risky texts. Some of you might be receiving some riskiness. But yeah, I definitely am seeing like this huge theme about a shift and kind of like planning who you do really want to be. The Two of Wands is planning this sort of adventure. So some of you might be like thinking about something, thinking about making some kind of move in your love life or some sort of shift. And the month of May is sort of like taking a risk on that adventure of like, you know what, I deserve it. I'm going to go for it. And I really see you making a shift with your healing, with how you communicate to yourself and others. Maybe with something with your past, there's like an adventure here. I definitely see you taking a chance on something though. All right, and then our last three cards that we have here, we have trust, past life relationship, and playfulness. Let's talk about this one first because I'm definitely seeing playfulness energy for you, group one. Like possibly like trying to be more adventurous with your love life, being more adventurous with your emotions, exploring them more, expressing them more in like a fun type of way. Like how can we bring more fun to our love life rather than so much worry or anxiety? We also had the card here of trust. So maybe this is calling us to not have so much worry or jump to conclusions. Like this is calling us to be more faithful and not have our mind overthink things. Because when we overthink things before we really know something, like sometimes we can end up making ourselves in a bad emotional state before we even need to go there, right? So it's kind of like just brush it off until something maybe actually happens. But at the same time, even when things do happen, I think that you're learning how to have a little bit more of a fun energy and realizing that life is a dance. Love is a dance, you know? And sometimes we pick the wrong partner and we need to shift it up. Not saying that that's the case for you, but you know, sometimes we do that. Sometimes we're like, you know what? It's time for something else, time for a new type of dance. But life is a dance. And so I think that you're realizing like this sort of energy of like, oh, I want to be more lighthearted. I don't want to hold myself back out of fear. I don't want to overthink things and get myself into a rut and stuff like that. So I think that the month of May is calling you to have a lot more trust in your love life. And then we also have past life relationship. So some of you might be called to talk to somebody from your past, because we had that kind of coming up with the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups does resemble the past. It is the one card in tarot that talks about the past. And then we have past life relationships. So this doesn't necessarily have to mean like a past life relationship. This can also mean a relationship from your past that feels kind of like a while ago. You know, it feels like, you know, it was a past relationship. It could be an ex, right? So there could be some communication with an ex, or for some of you, maybe it's just you're reflecting on your past relationships in order to learn from them. And now it's kind of like we're going through some deep healing where we're trying to like, you know, heal ourselves in different ways. And I see you being successful at that and shifting a little bit about who you are and how you pursue relationships or how you express yourself. There's lots of changes in how you express yourself. You're becoming a lot more playful and a lot more fun. And I think it's going to bring this new energy to your relationship and to your love life. If you have a relationship or if you're single, it's just going to bring like a different sort of energy to your love life and how you pursue your love life. And it's going to become a lot more fun, a lot more lighthearted and open. And it's kind of like a fun experience rather than it being stressful or fearful. So that is what I'm seeing here for you, group number one. I hope you enjoyed this reading. It's also no doubt that you chose the black tourmaline because black tourmaline is all about protection and it helps us feel confident in the face of negative energy. So I do see you kind of like healing and getting over the fears of negative experiences by just becoming more playful. So it's no doubt, it's no surprise that you chose black tourmaline. So that is what I have for you here, group one. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos like this in the future, because I'd love to have you there. And hopefully I see you in my next one. Bye. Oh, before I go, I just want to say, for some of you, I just got this message that for some of you, this change, sorry, I just put these cards away too. This change that you're going through is changing out of, like, maybe some of you guys recently went through a breakup. Yeah, like I'm definitely getting that some of you guys just went through a breakup, and this is now you kind of changing your life and closing out this old chapter and becoming more playful. So I just got that message for some of you. So if that is accurate for you, if that's relevant, if you just went through a breakup, I'm seeing you closing out that chapter and starting to close out past life relationships and changing your life, going on more of an adventure and starting to open up your heart again and become more playful for the future of your love life. So I just wanted to add that in there. But again, thank you for watching. Sending you all my love. Bye. All right, so group number 2, if you chose this pile with the bismuth, my little Pepto-Bismol group. If you missed the beginning where I was talking about this crystal, that joke's not gonna make any sense. But anyway, if you chose this group, this is gonna be a reading, so let's get started. All right, so group 2, for your love life, we have the High Priestess, the 3 of Cups, the Moon, the 5 of Pentacles, and the 7 of Cups. So when we start off with the High Priestess, when it comes to your love life, there might be certain things or certain maybe emotions that we're not wanting to express all at once. Like what I'm kind of getting this feeling of you being a little bit more private and maybe hard to crack, hard to open up. And in the month of May, it kind of looks like, you know, you're good at opening up when it comes to like maybe your friends and things like that. And they really help you open up and they really help you kind of like see certain stuff that's going on. And what I'm sort of hearing from this is that in the month of May, you're going to be discussing some of your deeper emotions with really close friends. And I almost feel like you're not going to be like making fast decisions in the month of May when it comes to your love life. I'm honestly seeing a lot of just like emotionally figuring stuff out. And I think that a huge help is going to come from your friend group, your close friends that you're going to be sort of like discussing deep stuff with and sort of trying to find certain answers on the way that you've been feeling in your love life. Part of you might feel like it's hard to maybe keep in certain emotions, or there's something that you're going through where it might feel like you're the odd one out for feeling this way. And what the cards are really wanting to say is like, you are not the odd one out. We all go through whatever it is that you're going through. We all go through this, okay? And whatever it is that you're wanting to manifest, it is coming. And I think by the end of May, you're going to be making more choices that are in alignment with attaining what you really desire. And it's all going to stem from these important conversations. Like a huge thing that I'm seeing in the month of May is really, really, really important conversations. And it's all about you opening up to your friends, people that you're close to, about what it is that you feel and what it is that you're going through. And somehow this is going to offer a lot of guidance to where you're going to understand what you actually want to do next and how you want to move forward in your love life. And it all just comes down to like these important conversations. Particularly one friend in general, I think is going to give really, really important advice that kind of just outshines, you know, your expectations of what you were kind of looking for. And it's going to just make a lot of sense. And it comes from a very caring place. So what I want you to know is like, this friend is going to have like a more caring approach. And maybe all your friends have that. I don't really know. It's a general reading, but I'm really kind of seeing this one friend kind of standing out and offering this like comforting feeling about what it is that you're going through so that you don't feel so alone in this and it doesn't feel so like confusing, because I feel like you're almost kind of confused about your own emotions right now. Maybe your emotions are kind of taking you in a certain area, or maybe you're kind of confused about like, I don't know what my future is going to look like, and maybe it's bringing some anxiety because we want some answers and we want like a more solid future. And I think that this friend is going to really help you plant the seeds to be able to really grow this future and guide you. I don't know, it's like this, they're offering guidance. And I think it's going to make a lot of sense for you. And I think it's going to take you out of this sort of rut And it's going to shed some light on your situation. And also the tarot cards are just coming through, just saying like, have fun and be more lighthearted, because it's also going to help along in this process. And going out to kind of see friends in order to have these like important conversations is going to be really helpful in the month of May. And I just really see that that's going to be a very prominent thing that is happening. Yeah, it's going to make you feel so much better. And the Seven of Cups, I just want to reiterate, is this card where we actually are seeing growth happening and we're seeing movement happening. So I think by the end of May, whatever advice that you're going to get is going to cause you to take certain action. And this action is going to be something that you're going to notice results from. You're really going to see results from this new action that you're then going to take in the month of May because of the conversations that you are having. So with that being said, the next card that we have the Challenger. Ooh, so some of you might be like going through a little bit of a challenge in your love life in the month of May. Some of you might be noticing like maybe there's a wall that you have up that you need to break out of, or maybe there's like an obstacle that we're trying to get through. And I'm really seeing like the solution is coming to you, but the solution might not be like the easiest thing in the world. It's still easy though. I still feel like you're gonna have an okay time getting through it, but I think like it's gonna cause you to have to come out of your shell, to be honest. And that's kind of the challenge here, is that this whole situation is causing you to have to let down that protective barrier that you might have over yourself. And of course, it's good to be protective of ourselves, but not overly protective to where we are unemotional, cold people. Like, this is challenging you to open up more and be vulnerable, to wear your heart on your sleeve. I think that that's going to be the main challenge that's kind of like coming through here in your love life. The next two cards, we have the Crossroads card. So there could be a big choice in front of you, group number 2. There could be like 2 different outcomes. It's like, should I stay or should I go? Or it could be a crossroads of, do I continue living the same love life, or do I finally open up and express myself, or like, what do I do? Like, there's definitely a choice that you have here in the month of May that that's going to be like the kind of challenge that we're going through. We also have the card of Channel. So one of your friends is going to channel some wisdom to you. That is for sure. They're going to be kind of like a channel for you to sort of like tune into and get advice. So yeah, it's like your own personal little advice channel. The next couple cards that we have here, we have Leadership and Follow Your Dreams. Interesting. I feel like these 2 exact cards came up in the monthly May reading, the regular one in one of the groups. But yeah, so Follow Your Dreams and Leadership. It is time for you to step up and put your heart on your sleeve. That is the month of May. It is time for you to step up and be a leader. Yeah, that's coming through hard. It's like, we can't just sit around and hope that what we want is going to come for us. We also have to put some action towards it. We don't have to be, love is always this interesting thing because it's a two-way street. It's a two-way street that we meet each other at, right? We can't put in all the effort, but we can't put in none of the effort either. So this leadership is coming through in order to kind of help us realize in the month of May, like, I need to kind of take lead in my own love life rather than putting it on the back burner maybe, in order to kind of get what you desire. It's kind of like needing to communicate it. We also have the Follow Your Dreams card. So there could be something that you're really desiring, which is obviously why we also have the manifestation card here of the 7 of Cups, because there is clearly something that you desire to experience in your love life. But we need to take a bit of action to get there. And I think that there's a conversation that's coming out that's going to be very important for some of you. And it's going to really help you see what you need to do. It's going to help bring clarity upon your situation. So that's going to be very positive. And again, once you get this clarity, I really see actual results coming into your life of this new action. So our last 3 cards that we have here, we have Calling in Your Soulmate. This could be the one, and then Religious Factors. Ooh. So some of you want to feel deep love. Calling in your soulmate. Some of you want to feel that really, really deep love. You may be in a relationship right now, you may not be, but regardless, I think that you have this picture in your mind of what you want to experience. But this is about needing to go through some kind of shifts to get over certain challenges, to open up more, to take more action in your love life in order to get the results that you desire. There needs to be more action being taken. We also have this could be the one. So some of you, you may have interest in somebody, but maybe we're not opening up fully. Maybe we're kind of like keeping it on the back burner. We're not saying our true feelings and thoughts. We're not taking any action towards it. Or some of you may be in a relationship already, and maybe we're not expressing our truest, deepest feelings in that relationship. Maybe we're not expressing what it is that we want. Therefore, we're not getting what we want, Or some of us may be fully single, but you have an idea of what you desire. You know what you want, but at the same time, in order to get what we want, we're gonna need to kind of get out of our shell a little bit. We do also have religious factors, so you might have put rules on yourself. What I'm hearing in this card is you may have put certain rules on yourself in your love life, like I can only be happy once this happens, and I can only be happy if this goes on in my love life. And so when we have this card coming up, we're kind of at a crossroads of like, are we gonna keep these same rules on ourselves? Or do we really, really want to go for, taking a chance on something and pursuing our dreams rather than kind of maybe keeping certain beliefs or constructs that hold us back? If these rules aren't serving you and they aren't bringing you what you want, then why do we have them? You know what I mean? So you might be re-questioning your tactics. You might be re-questioning some of your rules. And some of you maybe even are realizing maybe we do need more structure in it. But I feel like a lot of you need to open up more. That's like the thing here, is like we need to open up more. And I think one of your friends is going to be like a full channel for this for you. And I think it's going to really help bring in a lot of insight into your love life and kind of like the action that we need to take in order to get the results that we want. And I think you're figuring out a lot of that in the month of May, and there's going to be a lot more clarity on it. And again, I think you're going to really start to see the results by the end of May of this new action that you are taking. So that is what I see for you. Group number 2, I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos like this in the future, because I'd love to have you there. Sending you all my love, and I'll see you hopefully in my next one. Bye. All right, so group number 3, if you chose this pile, then this is going to be your reading. So let's get started. Okay, so group 3, what I'm noticing right off the bat is that we have a 6, 6, and 6 in this reading. 6 energy is all about harmony, and it also is very connected to music and kind of like making things in harmony. So if two people are, on 2 different tunes, then they don't really like resonate together. This is all about kind of like bringing your love life to a more resonant area, to where we're on the same page and stuff like that, to bringing in more balance. So it's interesting that this very much reflects in the tarot that we have. So we have the 6 of Pentacles to start us off for the month of May. And the 6 of Pentacles comes up when we are needing to find more balance in our love life, because maybe we are not, there might be some sort of imbalance here, basically. And we're needing to figure out how to get more balance. In this card, a lot of the times what I'm sort of noticing in this card is that we can be settling for breadcrumbs at times, when we're feeling unfulfilled or when we're feeling unhappy. A lot of the times when somebody expresses just a sprinkle of admiration or a sprinkle of love or a little sprinkle of something, we eat it up and we're just like, yes, that fulfilled me, that was amazing, but then we're left hungry again, and then we want more. And so it can kind of turn into this imbalance and this almost sometimes needy behavior, or sometimes just this behavior where it just feels like we're constantly lacking and constantly needing for some reason, and we can't figure out why. Or it could be the opposite for you. But yeah, basically what this card shows is that we are trying to find more balance in our love life in the month of May. We're not wanting to just settle for small breadcrumbs. We're wanting the whole loaf, and for us to also provide the whole loaf. But in order for us to do that, in order for us to create that balance, we're needing to fulfill ourselves, because when we're starving, of course, breadcrumbs are going to feel like heaven. But when we're starving, we also can't expect somebody to give us a whole loaf of bread either, and expect somebody else to completely fulfill us, because it is our responsibility to fulfill ourselves. And so I think one of the main things that you're going to be learning in the month of May is like, I need to show up being a full loaf of bread so that I can also experience somebody else's full loaf of bread, because the only time that we can do that is when we're fully fulfilled, and then it doesn't feel needy, and then we don't require somebody to be a certain way. Instead, we can just enjoy each other's bread rather than needing each other's bread. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I mean, you wouldn't go to dinner with somebody and get like these small little plates and both of you are just like, oh, give me some of yours. And then you're just like, ah, like, of course, when you don't have enough of something, for example, if you get fries at the table, but you only have like your side of fries, but then your partner didn't get a side of fries, and then they start eating off of your small little portion, you're probably gonna be like, stop, those are my fries. I don't know, I get that way. This is kind of just like the random example that's coming to my head. Of course, we're gonna be like, oh my God, don't take my fries. Like, I only have just so much as it is. And so when we are not very fulfilled and we're seeking a little bit from somebody else, they're not gonna give us very much. And they're also, it's gonna cause anger, it's gonna cause tension. So instead, what it looks like you're realizing in the month of May is like, I need to find my own fulfillment. And when I am fulfilled, I am not going to, it's like you need to order your own French fries, baby. Order your own French fries. And then it, you know, that's just the metaphor, right? So it's time for you to kind of like, sorry, my stomach is making the craziest noise. I have not eaten yet today, but I'm about to, so it's fine. But basically, we need to provide our own love for ourselves. And that way we're not grabbing it from somebody else, and we're not needing validation. We're not needing, you know, them to show us attention. Instead, we can just experience their attention. We can experience some fries together. And we're not needing it from each other, nor are we getting defensive about the lack of fries that we're gonna have if somebody takes ours. You know what I mean? This way we can experience it together, and it's harmonious, it's good, we're not gonna cause disruption. So the month of May is all about finding this balance. And then the Six of Swords is all about moving into clearer waters. When we were in rougher waters, this is our time to now move into a clear zone where all of a sudden things are becoming more clear for us. We're seeing with more clarity. It's not so rough anymore. And we're also noticing that our own emotions are getting easier. They're getting better. We're not, you know, having imbalance or anything like that. So I see things moving to a lot more balance and harmony. And we also have the Knight of Cups here. So I see you really starting to fulfill your own cup. And even if you're single, right? Maybe we haven't been with somebody in a long time. Some of us can feel that starving energy, but it's time for us to kind of like give ourselves love, give ourselves the nurture that we need, start to fall in love with life and create a life that you love so much, because that's gonna make you show up to the table with your own set of fries, right? And all of a sudden it's more harmonious. So I think the month of May is about you filling up your own cup, going to the stream and filling up your own cup with your own love. This is about self-love, and it's going to cause more balance in your love life. We also have the Seven of Pentacles right here. And this card is about planting the seeds so that they grow into what we desire them to be, planting the right seeds. And so I think you're going to start to grow your own love. You're starting to realize how to grow and harvest your own love. And you're going to be very successful at it in the month of May. I think that you're finding new things that you enjoy, new things that you love. And because of that, you are getting into a much better emotional state and a much more harmonious state, and your relationships, your friendships, your romantic partnerships, relationships with your family are going to be a lot more harmonious because of this new balance that we're creating, because we're filling up our own cup first, and you're harvesting your own wheat You're making your own fries so that you don't require nobody else to do it for you. So yeah, and it's going to cause, again, a lot more harmony. The next card that we have here, we have the storyteller card. So in regards to your love life, I think that you are making a new plan for yourself. You're almost creating a new story of how you want your life to unfold. So rather than like having two needy people that only have one fry on their plate and both of you are like, oh my God, I need that fry. It's kind of like we're creating a brand new story where we are filling up our own cup. And I think that you're also realizing that you have new interests, kind of like what we were saying earlier. There's going to be like something new that you're sort of implementing into your life that causes more fulfillment. And it's kind of like you're writing a new path for yourself, because the storyteller can also be that we're writing a new path for our future because of the new actions we're taking in the present moment, because of the changes that you're making now. It is causing your future to radically shift and be different in a really good way. And then the next two cards that we have the card of protection. So I don't think you're gonna have to be so protective over your energy anymore. I don't think you're gonna have to be so protective over your fries because you are, sorry, this is such a weird example, but anyway, you are making your own to the point where it's like, oh, I don't need protected anymore because I've overflowed my cup. Of course I can give you a sip of my cup because I have overflowed it. It's overflowed. I'm not going to be thirsty. I'm not going to be hungry because I've already protected my energy by fulfilling myself. So rather than needing to have a bunch of boundaries up, or rather than needing to be protective over yourself or require certain things, this is just going to allow more flow. We also have nature's cycles. With the Malachite. Malachite is that heart chakra energy, and that's the divine feminine energy, so nurturing yourself. This is about nurturing yourself. And nature's cycles. I think that you have gone through a cycle of maybe experiencing some things that maybe you didn't want, or going through a cycle of kind of maybe needing validation or maybe needing love. And I think that you're going through now a cycle of where you're uplifting on your own. And because of that, it's kind of like you're going in that new direction where it's going to be a lot more harmonious and a lot more balanced. The next two cards that we have here, we have pride and completion. And both of these cards are the same color. They're the crown chakra, the purple color. So this can be when we let go of certain attachments. The crown chakra is where we have certain attachments to stuff, and also where we receive messages. So I think that you're receiving downloads, like ideas, epiphanies about why certain things have been the way that they are. You're completing that phase. You're completing an old phase of your life. You're completing that old cycle. That's no longer going to be a repetitive cycle. You're ending and breaking an old cycle. And I think it is going to uplift you in many ways to where you feel very proud of yourself because of this completion, because of closing out that old chapter. It's like, I'm no longer going to be that way. I'm no longer going to repeat these patterns, because maybe we've had certain patterns that were like on repeat. And with these cards coming up, it's like those patterns are no longer in our queue to happen, you know, like they're no longer there. So I think that you're changing up your life in many different ways, closing out an old chapter, and it's going to be amazing that you're actually, you know, closing that one out. So yeah, let's get into our last three cards here. We have, stay optimistic about your love life, chemistry, and soulmate. So stay optimistic about your love life. If you've been going through challenges, or like a certain pattern just keeps happening for you in your love life, that is ending. You're completing that cycle in the month of May, and it's because you're realizing where the imbalance has been. There's been an imbalance. Okay? And you are ending that cycle because of these new epiphanies, because of these new realizations that you're getting. And this card is coming up. It's like, stay optimistic, because good things are about to really start happening in your love life. We had that Six of Wands, and this is about something that's worth celebrating. Something that you're noticing, like, oh my God, I've made progress here, and I am noticing the benefits. I am getting the rewards of this new progress. So stay optimistic, because good things are coming as you make these shifts and these changes and these realizations. Great stuff is coming. You might even, realize what you really want. The people that you're attracted to might actually change and might be different, because we're no longer attracted to that dynamic where we're stealing each other's fries. We're now attracted to the dynamic of us both having fully our own, and we can try each other's, because maybe somebody over there has garlic fries and we have some regular fries and we want to switch it up and share. That's what chemistry is. You are realizing that you have maybe a different type now. You're attracted to a different persona because you're changing. You're ending a cycle. You're no longer on that same wheel. You might even find somebody that you do have a really strong magnetic attraction to, or if you're already in a relationship, this might reawaken the chemistry, because when we're being really fulfilled and doing something that makes us really happy and we show up with that happy energy, of course, that's very attractive. And then we have this soulmate card. So I think you're really starting to bring in that soulmate energy and cultivate that soulmate energy. So if you're single, I think that you're going to start bringing in that energy because of these new dynamic shifts that you're making in your love life. If you're already in a relationship, I really think that that relationship is going to improve significantly in so many ways, because we are fulfilling ourselves first, and it's going to make major shifts in the best way possible. So that is what we have here for you. Group number 2, 3. We're on group number 3 already. Oh my goodness. This has just been flying by. I think I maybe mixed up the numbers there. I don't know if I accidentally said 2 at some point in this reading. I don't know. But anyway, you're group number 3. Love you guys. Sending you guys so much love. And I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos like this in the future, because I would love to have you there. And hopefully I see you in my next one. Bye. Okay, so group number 4, if you chose this pile, then this is going to be your reading. So let's hop right into it. Okay, so group 4, we have the 4 of Cups, the King of Wands, the Hierophant, and the 8 of Wands. When we start off with the 4 of Cups, the 4 of Cups can symbolize that we're dissatisfied with something. That's all changing in the month of May, but whatever you're dissatisfied with going into May, that is going to be shifting. But when this card does come up, it does signify that we might be like, I don't know, dissatisfied, or kind of looking at the things that we desire to change, or the things that we might find unfulfilling, or the things that we're sort of still waiting to happen. We're like, when is this going to happen? Like, when am I going to get to experience this? And sort of it's like this, it can be a card that symbolizes boredom or impatience or lack, or just kind of like all those different things. But the King of Wands comes next, which makes me feel like there's going to be something that excites our enthusiasm in the month of May. So this could be all of a sudden we're like, you know what? There's something I'm excited about. Something has caught my interest. This can also be you getting excited yourself and just noticing like, hey, I want to spark up my love life again. I don't want to just sit around waiting for something to happen, because maybe we're waiting for things to happen without taking action. And I feel like it's kind of realizing like, hey, I kind of need to move forward. If I want certain things to happen, I need to kind of put the spark in there myself. Like maybe I need to ignite the fire myself. And so that's one of the things I'm noticing for you in the month of May, is kind of like lighting up your own spark. I also see you maybe taking an opportunity or saying yes to something, because the 4 of Cups can also symbolize that there is an opportunity coming for you that maybe we were ignoring or saying no to before, and then all of a sudden we're just like, you know what, yes, okay, yep. So yeah, it's like, also I see you standing into your confidence as well, like not putting up with things less than what you really, really, really deserve. The King of Wands knows what he deserves, and he does not settle for less. He waits till people come up to his level rather than, going down to their level, but he also knows how to empower people as well to understand what his standards are. He knows how to communicate. He knows how to, say what he wants in order for people to understand, and things like that. So I think that you might be stepping into your power more in the month of May, so that you can actually make it clear what it is that you want. And maybe you're also making it more clear for yourself as well. What do you really want in your love life? The Hierophant can symbolize that we're going through some learning, we're up-leveling our energy in a certain way, and this can also be a card of commitment as well. And maybe also discontinuing people-pleasing, because this could also mean that we're creating new values, new beliefs, and we no longer want to stay on this old level. We're realizing like, hey, I need to like up my own energy if I'm wanting to get to the level that I'm trying to experience. Like if I want to experience tons of love, or if I want to experience whatever, we need to get ourselves to that energy. We can't just wait till somebody else uplifts us to that. But I think that you're just raising your standards in the month of May, and also reevaluating what it is that you value in other people, and maybe starting to actually speak about what it is that you value in others, so that other people can like understand who they need to be around you, kind of like what we were saying with the King of Wands. But the Hierophant is very much about our belief systems, our values. It's also deeply about learning. So maybe you're learning more about yourself, what you really desire in your love life. I also see you not like letting your values be swayed. I think that you are becoming very strong in not wanting people to walk all over you. Sorry, my stomach is like grumbling right now. You're not wanting people to take advantage of you, or you're not wanting to lower your standards for anybody. Like that's a huge thing with the Hierophant, is you're not wanting to lower any of your standards at all. In fact, you're kind of like leveling yourself up again, and realizing that you have more standards yourself. And I don't think that this is in an unhealthy way. I think that this is in a very healthy way. I think that you are learning how to respect yourself more, and also how to speak your mind when it comes to what you value and what you expect from others and the standards that you have. I think that this is coming out in a very healthy way. Also with the Eight of Wands, this is when we have like clear skies in front of us, when we have energy that's moving forward. So rather than it being on pause, rather than us pondering what it is that we want, rather than us being disappointed, it's kind of like we're taking that disappointment, or we're taking that dissatisfaction, and we're like, I'm going to be my own boss basically in my love life, and I am going to raise my standards even more so that I can make these situations better by expressing this value, by expressing what it is that you want and need and desire. And because of that, I think that's going to bring more clarity into your love life, not only for yourself, but those that you're surrounded by. And I think it's going to offer open communication. I think it's going to bring more of an understanding between you and other people. If you have, other people in your life or anything, it's going to bring in more of an understanding about that. And I think it's going to also, I think there might be conversations about what you actually want, the commitment that you want in your life, and where you actually see things going. I think that there's going to be more conversations around this, rather than it being kind of like up in the air and us wondering like, when is this certain thing going to happen? I think that there's going to be deep conversations about what it is that you desire and what it is that you expect, and where you see your future going, the direction that you're headed in, so that you can get on the same page as the people that you're with. And so there might be conversations about the future, about what your future looks like, about what you expect your future to look like, and what you want your future to look like, what's most inspiring to you, what you're growing towards, what you're aspiring to. That way, there's clarity here between you and other people, or you and another person if you're in a relationship. And it's just overall gaining more clarity, more communication, better understanding here, so that we're not having to wander. We're not having to be like, am I wasting my time? Because this is a card where we're like, okay, am I wasting my time over here? When am I going to get to where I need to go? When is it going to happen? Like all that kind of stuff. And so I think that you're just up-leveling yourself in many ways, and realizing what you really want, and realizing like, hey, I need to talk about this because I'm not willing to sway on that. The next card we have is the Citizen card. This one's interesting. So Citizen is like when you belong somewhere, right? And in regards to your love life, it's sort of like making a clear plan of who can fit that mold, who can fit in that society with you, who your real family is going to be, who's going to be a citizen of your life, and who's not going to be. What is that standard, you know? Because when you become a citizen somewhere, there's a standard that you need to meet. There's requirements, right? And I'm also hearing the word being a good civilian. Like, you have to be a good civilian. There are rules to follow. You can't be a bad civilian to stay a citizen somewhere. Like of course you'll still be a citizen, but oddly it's giving me, like, spirit's telling me that you're raising your standards of, like, you need to be a good civilian in order to, you know, be a citizen in my world. Like, that's kind of like what I'm hearing in that card. So yeah, I think that you're raising your standards, creating more boundaries, because you're not willing to lower those standards. The next two cards we have clarity, which is the Eight of Wands card. You are becoming very clear on what it is that you desire in your life and the commitment that you desire, whether you desire commitment or not. You're becoming clear on what it is that you desire, and you're also bringing that clarity to the table with anyone that you're with. And then we also have the transformation card. So I think that you're going to be making changes in your love life and making changes on how you act in your love life and the things that you let slide versus the things that you do not let slide. I think that you're creating more rules, but these rules are helping bring clarity. So the rules aren't bad rules. They're actually good rules that are helping you get to the goal that you're trying to get to, because it's kind of like, we don't want to waste our time here, you know, and we want to make sure that we're, like, going in that same direction. We want to make sure that we have clarity with our partner or with, you know, anybody that we are seeing. So yeah, the next two cards that we have here, we have parenting. Some of you might be talking about kids or talking about your values in parenting and how you wish to parent your children if you're of that age and you have kids. Or some of you might be talking about having kids or talking about what you see your future like, whether you want kids or not, for example, or the type of parent that you expect somebody to be versus, you know, how you expect yourself to be. This can also just be about how you nurture yourself and how you expect somebody to nurture you. And then we also have financial discipline. So some of you might also be talking to your partner about how you handle finances. I really think that you're talking about, like, bigger stuff in the month of May, group 4. You're talking about the big stuff, the stuff that really, like, matters, like the foundational things. So you're getting the foundational things across in the month of May. So yeah, with that being said, the last three cards, we have true love, let your friends help you, and worth waiting for. So true love, I think you're realizing what it is that you really want. What does true love really mean to you, and what you're not willing to put up with? Like, how do you view love, and how do you want your relationship to be? And is your partner on the same page, or are the people that you're dating on the same page as that, or are they not? What does that true love look like to you? And we're not willing to settle anymore for anything less. We also have let your friends help you. So some of you might be talking to your friends about certain things to gain advice, in order for them to help you gain clarity on what it is that you want and deserve. This can also be just having, like, just down-to-earth conversations with your partner. But I do think that some of you are talking to your friends, kind of maybe getting advice from your friends on how to maybe bring certain things up, or, I don't know, their advice on certain things about, you know, how to navigate whatever scenario it is that you're going through. And then we have the worth waiting for card. So I think one of the biggest things that you're going to realize in the month of May is, like, your true love is worth waiting for. And I think your friends are going to be encouraging that within you as well. It's like, don't settle for less. Like, do not settle for less than what you want and deserve, because then otherwise we're going to be unhappy. We might have regrets, all that kind of stuff. And you might have friends that are like, you know what, don't settle for this. Don't let this person walk all over you. Don't let this person treat you this way. Like, even if you don't end up with that person, you know, it's better off that way because your true love is worth waiting for. So don't get scared of like speaking your truth out of fear of being lonely. Don't compromise your authenticity and end up settling for something that's not making you fully happy. Your happiness is worth waiting for, and I think that's going to be a huge realization in the month of May. So yeah, I think it's just realizing like, I just want to speak my authenticity, because if this person is my true love, then it's going to be worth the effort to, you know, get us to this higher level, or, you know, at least these conversations will tell us whether or not we're on the right track with certain people versus who's not on the same track as us, right? Because it's better to have these conversations sooner than later so we don't end up somewhere where we don't want to be. So that is what we have here for you, group number 4 for the month of May. Lots of just like figuring stuff out, up-leveling your vibe to get what you want, to start moving forward in your love life in the best way possible, and to start transforming that so that you end up there. So that is what I'm seeing for you. Hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos like this in the future, because I would love to have you there. And hopefully I see you in my next one. Bye.